Making any game massively multiplayer is a huge investment, and Destiny is the biggest gamble yet in the genre. Activision bet $500 million on the idea and reportedly made it back, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions about what to expect for the future of this unusual first-person shooter. As of this review posting, Destiny's raid content still hasn't gone live, and without playing it, we can't factor it into this review score. This is where Destiny stands here and now, and based on what you're expecting it to be, why you should or should not play it right this minute. First we were Spartans, now we're Guardians. Bungie now lets us fling magic spells, spawn rocket bikes, and jump from planet to planet instead of sticking to a linear story. The sacrifice is that the narrative in Destiny is given very little in-game attention. Peter Dinklage is our most persistent link to these future events as your floating bot friend Ghost.
There you are.
But his comments can get lost in the chaos, and Dinklage's performance is so dry, you can tune him out after a dozen or so hours.
Fallen ships, this close to the surface. Move!
If you want to dig deeper into Destiny's story, you can dig up on Grimoire cards you unlock by finishing various achievements, and only then if you have the Destiny mobile app or visit the Destiny website. We can understand putting the wall of text on devices we actually use for sitting and reading, but the characters you can talk to in-game are very uninteresting without more context from them directly about the world around you. We'd love to ask Dinklage more questions about being a Guardian, or chat with Nathan Fillion about the class type he represents.
Hey, good luck out there.
You can sign up as a Hunter, Warlock, or Titan. Hunters prefer to be at long range, Warlocks do a great deal of area damage, and Titans are ideal tanks for Destiny's strike missions. The classes are most easily defined by their special powers. Hunters get a golden gun worth 3 punishing shots, Warlocks toss a purple ball of electric death, and Titans drop a ground pound that's a guaranteed one-shot in competitive multiplayer. Starting at level 15, you can explore a subclass, shifting focus to specialize in other specific abilities. The classes each have enough flavor that you'll enjoy having a fire team composed of all 3 whenever you can manage it, but the dynamic they share isn't crucial for high-level content. 3 skilled Warlocks can handle the level 18 mission just as easily as a fire team with all 3 classes represented. You can also identify yourself as one of 3 races, human, exo, or awoken. Regardless of your race-class combo, you'll begin your journey amid a heap of rusted automobiles in a region on Earth known as the Cosmodrome, located in what's left of Russia. You'll come to know the Cosmodrome well, as all of the PvE or player versus enemy AI events in Destiny take place here or in one of 3 other free-roaming maps, the Moon, Venus, and Mars. Your objectives in these areas depend on what mission type you select. Players can also convene in the game's only hub called the Tower, purchasing weapons, armor, and new methods of transportation. There are 4 types of PvE missions: stories, strikes, patrols, and raids. The latter of the 4 won't go live until Tuesday, September 16th, and will only be available to Guardians that have reached level 26. Stories are the most common mission type, and most can be completed without a full fire team if you're traveling solo. They give you a clear set of objectives, and you're automatically sent back to orbit when each story is finished. Strikes are more difficult, acting like a dungeon in your average MMORPG. They'll test the skills of your fire team at their respective levels, and each ends in a boss fight that requires finesse and teamwork. Raids are supposed to take the concept even further, requiring 2 fire teams, 6 Guardians total, to complete. Finally, patrols are the most casual of the mission types, with 1 available per zone. In a patrol, 1 to 3 Guardians activate lighted beacons and receive missions randomly placed in the environment. Any one of these mission types will send you back to the same zones again and again, with the hope that you'll encounter other players to team up with. You might even stumble across a public event, a spontaneous, optional activity common to modern MMOs that summons all nearby Guardians to complete a specific challenge. If you prefer competition over cooperation, you can choose to spend your time exclusively in the Crucible, Destiny's forum for PvP warfare. There are 4 match types. Control plays like King of the Hill with 2 teams of 6. Clash is straightforward PvP deathmatch. Rumble is 6-player free-for-all. And Skirmish is a 3v3 assault where your buddies can be revived and solid teamwork is rewarded. All of these activities, PvE or PvP, dish out rewards relative to their required level, and many can be undertaken before the game says you're ready for them, in case you feel lucky. Finishing every mission and scorching every multiplayer map could take you anywhere from 14 to 18 hours, depending on where you spend your time. The real question, and one that we don't have the full answer to, is what happens then. In order to become the most powerful Guardian you can be, you're going to have to retread your footsteps multiple times. Even reaching level 26 to qualify for the endgame raid content will require you to rinse and repeat whatever activities strike your fancy for several hours. When you hit level 20, you start thinking less about XP and more about light. The Traveler's divine presence can be felt in all things, including your boots and fusion rifle. Light points bump up your level past 20 so you can take part in raids and other planned endgame goodies. Depending on what parts of Destiny you like best, you can pick how you want to plan your ascension. If you prefer to blow up aliens, there's the Vanguard Strike playlist, which has 4 tiers of level-based difficulty and rewards, from level 18 to 24. The top 3 give you Vanguard points, which you can use to buy better gear. Each tier sends you to one random strike after another, and once you memorize each layout, you can hustle through them in 10 or 15 minutes. Each day also brings a story mission worth 5 Vanguard points that you can complete by yourself if you stay vigilant, and each week, a heroic strike offers points too.
Another battle won. On to the next fight.
If you prefer to blow up other Guardians, then you should visit the Crucible. You can pick from one of 4 available match types, and one of them is always carrying an XP bonus. Multiplayer has only 10 maps across 4 modes, and there's nothing really out of this world about the selection of weapons. What does liven things up is everyone's varying double jump routines, mixed with instantly lethal superpowers. Special ammo, aka shotgun or sniper ammo, has to be picked up off the ground for each match, and rounds for a rocket launcher or heavy machine gun drop in after a few minutes at a random location, which can make things hectic. Finishing multiplayer matches gets you Crucible points, which can be spent on a tier of guns and equipment customized for PvP. So you can alternate between playing against the computer and other players, and progress through each in equal amounts. If anything, the Crucible is a bit more generous in handing out points. You can also sign up for one of the 3 factions and wear their markings in battle to get faction reputation, be it against the computer or PSN and Xbox Live, and turn that in for an alternate, perhaps more stylish set of top-level gear. And it's here that we face the greatest enemy of the Traveler and the Guardians of Light. Not the darkness or server instability, but boredom through repetition. If you want to team up with 5 other friends and take on Destiny's coolest battles, you're going to have to run the same maps and fight the same bosses over and over. The grind is alleviated a bit by bounties, many Vanguard and Crucible achievements that give a fair amount of experience points. Sooner or later that grind is going to end, and Bungie is already baiting players with mission and world event updates. There's more to come, but you might end up taking a break from Destiny until it does. The low level cap means your friends can get ready for the endgame in a day or two, and you may be tempted to spec out all 3 classes at 20 to get a feel for each one. As a Bungie product, this goes without saying, but Destiny is best played with friends.
Zone A's captured. It's yours.
Oh, I started so well.
The story and strike missions give you several moments to showboat with vehicles and powers, and those moments when you expertly triangulate an enemy encounter with a full squad of Guardians are definitely satisfying. Also worth noting is the game's speed. You visit the same spots frequently, but load times are manageable, playlists cycle through missions quickly, double jumps help you zip in and out of trouble, and sparrows are a joy to blast around. Popular opinion of Destiny changes depending on the games it's being compared to. Next to Halo 3, Destiny's story is thin, vehicles are average, and Arsenal is uninspired. Up against World of Warcraft, Destiny's quest system is repetitive, open world is sectioned off, and list of dungeons can't possibly compete. But World of Warcraft never looked this good, and Halo 3 didn't reach this level of synergy between PvP and PvE. Destiny's 2 greatest strengths are the flashes of startling graphical beauty and those thrilling moments of near deaths and crushing victories. When respawns become restricted and your 3-person fire team is down to 1 Guardian with 30 seconds to run for their life or restart at a checkpoint, Bungie's vision clears up a little bit. There's just not enough content available at launch to completely satisfy today's competitive shooter fan, and anyone who likes to live in MMOs won't find as much RPG here as they're used to. feels like there's something missing in Destiny, and by year's end, that void may be filled with more modes, missions, and planets. For the time being, we're prepared to brave the beautiful wastelands of our solar system over and over because the freestyle combat across huge maps can have surprising variations between different play sessions. We've had enough WoW moments to justify the time and effort to unlock them, and the possibilities of what Bungie could do next in this newly minted galaxy are intriguing based on what we've played so far. Destiny has not achieved greatness yet. It is, however, extremely fun to play.
Okay, I'm getting a lock on what's happening here.